On our last episode, we were in the UK picking up my dream Corolla, and we had three choices between three very different AE86s. On this episode, we tell you which car I've bought, we check out some of the amazing cars that somehow are here in a farm in the UK. It's going to be a big episode. Let's go.
What a treat!
Let's see if you've got what it takes.
So right now we are supposed to be at Drift Masters, but as you guys know, and everybody knows, that Drift Masters was cancelled for round 1 and round 2 has become round 1 in Spain. Even though we had all of our trucks pretty much an hour from the track, they drove for 6 days straight to get there. They now had to get a ferry across to Spain. So very disappointed, but it is what it is. Obviously Pope Francis passing away, there was a couple of days of mourning in Italy, the government shut down the events. So what can you do? So we were supposed to do this trip about 2 or 3 weeks in the future, so we decided to accelerate that. So in the last episode we were looking at some AE86s. We'll get to that, I promise. We have bought one, we've done a deal in the office, so I'm excited about it. But here at JDM Garage they have some absolutely ridiculous cars that I don't think have ever been assembled together in Europe. Now these are ex-D1 GPs from the glory years of Japanese drifting. Very famous cars, we're going to have a look through them. But what's even more incredible to think is that there's more here in this farm in the UK than there is in the entirety of Europe, because this is the biggest collection of D1 GP cars outside of Japan and maybe America. There's a couple in America. How wild is this? This is like 2008, 2009, just sitting in the middle of the countryside in the UK. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look through the cars, because these are cars that I would have watched in the old option DVDs. What I want to do is have a look at them and see, they're kind of like a time warp, because this is a high level full-on pro car from that time. And because of the theme of not being at Drift Masters and the cars we have now, I kind of want to have a look and see what the difference is between then and now. Okay, let's start with probably the most iconic and famous of the three, which is Roy's Toyo tires. This would be a Wheelies. This is an iconic car, obviously part of the team with Kawabata. Yeah, I mean, I think I just remember this car from like very old Forzas, very old Gran Turismos. People used to have this car, and it's wild to think this was one of the most competitive cars at the time in 2009. So first thing you notice is it's all glass windows, no perspex windows. Obviously that was it. And even on the body, but it's not super lightweight or cut out. I mean, the cages have come quite a long way in that time, Josh, haven't they?
That's a bolt-in. That's something you put in a road car.
That's a bolt-in dash dodger, top level drifting at 2009. And inside it looks kind of like a street car, doesn't it? Like you've got, we need the Defi controller, just put it in the dash, a little bit of a carbon bit put in there. Like this, look at this, not even a hydraulic handbrake. In 2009, still using the drift button, 2 gauges just for oil pressure, water temp, a couple of switches that look like they came out of your local Halfords. Like that kill switch panel is like, that's something you see in a Ford Fiesta now. Like, you know, it's like a real naff thing. Pixie Power C, obviously the tuning side of things not as advanced as we would have now with like Link ECU and stuff. And a bare bones car, isn't it? Like nothing much to it. It's got like a welded in firewall. Everything's steel. It's wild. Let's see what's under the bonnet.
4 bonnet pins, extra safe.
Very safe. This is quite light, to be fair. So at some point it was yellow. They stitch welded the chassis. Big turbo, big ready turbo on there. A big rad, big intercooler. Everything at the front.
I think the engine seems like the most modified bit on the whole car.
Yeah, and the mad thing is, nothing in the back. So you know what I mean? Like nowadays you put the rad in the back and all that stuff. Now it's just, no, everything is just sort of almost factory placement.
Well, it's almost like they've not tubed the car. It's kind of, obviously probably been crashed and built back kind of the same.
She's had a few smacks and a couple of, you can see that for lock they've just hammered areas to get a little bit more clearance. This isn't even tubbed. All these plates are kind of as you go, so it's not like they have one crash bar on the front that's kind of mounting everything. They just went, need to put the rod there, so we'll just put that in. And then look at this big bit of grid iron here holding in the headlights.
That's just 90.
Just 90 there. And then you've got garden hose here at the top.
So you got to have the garden hose.
The welding, you can see like how far welding has come in since 2009 in drift cars.
That's a lot of stitch welding.
Yeah, like It's simple, but it works. I don't know, some part of you will say, ha, look how backward it was. Then I'm kind of going, look how cheap it was to be a top level pro drifter back in 2009. Like, you probably needed 500 horsepower, and the rest of it you and your mates could build in your shed, which is where all these cars were built in Japan. So it's not like you were building a road car to be a drift car, rather than a drift car to be a race car, which is what we're doing now, making a proper GT level race car. So I love the simplicity of it, very cool.
Is it going to be cut out at all? Nope.
Nope. There's more cut out of bloody me road cars than there is this thing.
Big NOS
Big
bottle
nitrous
in
bottle.
the boot in the impact zone.
This
It could be a water jet for the
for the intercooler. Could be a water jet for the intercooler. Your battery box. It's just a standard car.
It's almost like a standard car with a hell of a lot of power upgrades, but like nothing to the actual chassis.
If you think about it, driving one of these in 2009 as a top level driver, it'd be fairly handy to drive. Like, not massive amounts of grip, not overly mental in terms of like performance, just kind of like people have street cars now that have more horsepower than this. My S14 would not be far off this, like my street car. So it's wild to think that this was top level. Now, they obviously concentrated, which they should have, on styling. Styling was a huge part of it, the chrome graphics, all that stuff, but it's wild. You could probably build a D1 GP car in about, nowadays, if you had the right people, probably about 6 hours.
Sounds like a challenge.
You could though, because think about it, what are you doing? You're taking out all the interior, putting a battery box in the back, bolt-in cage, and like, that's a street car into a D1 car. Like, what else, what other safety is there? There's just bucket seats and a harness, so that's a bit wild. Another very iconic car. This is the car modify wonder Laurel, which was sponsored by Goodyear at the time. Just looks so cool. This is like big 4 doors, and I think that's the weird thing, is that Japan has so many top level competitive 4-door cars. Nowhere else really around the world took to them the same, because they're quite heavy and cumbersome, but they're quite easy to drive with the long wheelbase. So they were very successful in Japan, especially when you didn't need massive amounts of powers, and the Silvias weren't lighter and running bigger tires, so you could be easily competitive in one of these. I love this, just a big square swedge of a sticker, just bap.
That was their style, wasn't it?
Yeah, so this car, actually know very little about this, so I'm discovering it as I go with you guys. Oh, still has the bonnet raisers. That's a new one. So we got ourselves an RB 25, I assume. Again, seems to be a theme. Massive turbo, built engine, and then if you need a bit of lock, just absolutely send the hammer up through this. I mean, they're all stitch welded, but they're all on cut knuckles, remember. No angle kits existed at this time, so all these cars were on cut knuckles. Like, they would just make the knuckle kit themselves, go drifting, would have terrible like Ackerman and trailing wheel drag. No wise fab, nothing like that existed back then. So this was just lads in a shed making their pro car with a bit of angle, and that was fine.
Well, this is literally even less modified at the front. This is the slam panel.
It's the standard slam panel. It's a professional D1 car, and it has literally just performance upgrades. It even has the standard grille with the standard grille mounts. They've been hit a few times, I'd say.
Well, would that be the standard engine? An RB?
Yeah, an RB25 would be the standard engine from a Laurel. This is obviously an upgraded one, but big turbo, upgrade the engine, bit of garden hose, oil cooler, bigger rad, blitz intercooler, and then send it on, bit of body kit. Like, you look back, you think, God, it was actually quite... Now, don't get me wrong, these cars, no, they were cheap enough in 2009, to be honest. So this would have been, like, you could be out competing for 25 grand, like maybe even less in D1, which is even wild to think when you, like, how far it's come since then. This one has back doors, and this kit, oh, it's got a double door bar dash dodger.
That is a very modified Bolton, I would say.
Walnut wood trim on the dash. None of your carbon dashes here, Josh. I guess this is a time when people just couldn't make the things they wanted. They just had to modify the things. Do you know what I mean? You couldn't just make a carbon dash or a mold. You couldn't just do those things. So now you just did what you could.
This seems incredibly simple. Indicator stalks and everything.
Like, you have indicator stalks.
This could be taken back to a road car very easy.
Like, what pro top level drift car has indicator stalks anymore? Like, it's a Laurel that is just got stickers on it, a body kit, and big turbo and an engine rebuild.
Like, I was going to say the firewall is, well, non-existent, but then again the boot floor's probably not been cut out, so that's the firewall.
You have it. Very exciting.
I was going to say, look at this, like, that's the rear quarter there, and you can tell that's undamaged, uncut out.
Yeah, this side looks the same.
Like, that's just a standard quarter. In
Wild,
top level
innit?
competition, never been damaged.
But think of the weight. Like, every single panel on this car is steel with nothing cut out of it. And then this is the Friends Racing S15. So this one is a bit of a hybrid. So this one was bought by the guys at JDM Garage from Japan, and they've redone it in sort of, I would say, a resto mod, probably the right way of putting it, that they've left it exactly as it is on the outside, but they have added some goodies. So this one has a SR20 in it, but didn't have this in Japan, but I think the engine from Japan was tired or had an issue, so decided to go all out and make this into a more modern drift car. So you can instantly see this one has been touched. So this has a built SR20 in it, and again, slam panel. The arches aren't even tubbed. That's the bit that I find mad. I would have thought they were all tubbed arches.
Well, it's actually gone one step further on this one. The bay's been smoothed, I think. The bay. Yeah.
But I still think that's been done here.
Yeah.
Not done in Japan. There must have been that many crazy collisions back then. Of course there would have been, but maybe not to the extent today with the walls and stuff that we would have nowadays, that the car has to be so modular that everything gets smashed 20 times a season. These cars would have done a couple of seasons without really taking any major damage, which is why they're still preserved as they are now, so that's pretty cool. I think the inside is the same. Maybe there's Samsonite sequential in here now. Obviously a Samsonite sequential didn't exist when this car was originally competing.
I mean, it's not got a dash dodger cage, but it's still a bolting cage.
The bolting cage through the dash is blank. Some of the vents they have. This one has an upgrade, yeah. So this one has a lot of upgrades here, including they would have taken out all the defies, put in a management display. It's pretty cool. Still on the standard handbrake. Standard handbrake.
It's got a different passenger door bar to
yeah,
mixing it up.
Again, this has Perspex windows, which is a bit different than the others, but
well, it's an S15, it's more modern.
It's really interesting. Just while they're here, I wanted to have a little look through them because, you know, now we've got these, you know, 1100 kilo, 1000 horsepower, 285 gripped up monsters with sequentials and everything custom made, everything carbon fiber or carbon Kevlar. Like, and you go back to this and you're like, this is like the top level 2009. So in one way, you're super proud of how far drifting has come and how much it's progressed. And then another way, you're like, God, it was pretty affordable and cheap back then to actually be a top level driver. Bar your fuel and your tires, you probably like 25 grand to get you a car that could win the championship at the top level in D1. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but we're not far off it here, because these cars would have been like an S15 back then would have been cheap. A Laurel, like these cars are exaggerated values now because they're rare, they're old, and only a few survived. But back then they were very affordable, especially in Japan. So it's mad. You didn't need to be a wealthy racer, which some of you guys will agree with, and in other ways some of you will agree with the fact that now it's a bigger spectacle because you've got essentially the Formula 1 of drifting. So wild. Trip down memory lane here at JDM Garage. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get back to the Corolla that I am going to take home to Ireland. So last night we put out a video, which was a couple of days now to you guys, of which of the 3 AE86s should we take back to Ireland, start as a new project, and have something that we could have a lot of fun with for the summer at Sportsline. I am wearing a Sportsline hoodie. So we had a long think about it, but we mostly looked through your comments, and to be honest, your opinions were great because a lot of you guys talked about the silver Truno being the rawest, the most purest, and a drift car. But I already have a lot of drift cars, and it's not going to be able to go on the street, and it's not something you can drive around on a Sunday, so we knocked that one out, which left us with the black 20 valve and the 16 valve restored car. This was a tough choice because one was kind of best of both worlds, and one was absolutely perfect to finish as the perfect Corolla. So after listening to your comments, reading through them, there was over 1,000 comments just last night alone. One car had about 80% of the vote, I would say, in the comments. And you know what? That's the one I was leaning towards myself. So we are going to be able to reveal that right now we've done a deal. She is ready to put on the trailer, take back to Ireland, our brand new 20 valve black AE86. So this is the car we're taking home. I am so excited about it because the nostalgia that this car brings back to me, driving it yesterday, just the way it looks, it's almost along the lines of AE86 I had many, many years ago. It's just so fun. I mean, that's kind of what I wanted. Yes, we have 1,000 horsepower drift cars and all these crazy machines, but just something fun for basic, like, fun drifting that isn't going to cost a fortune. It's 15-inch tires. They're the cheapest, and 195s. Get a couple of spare rims, drift all day. If it's wet, you're spending like 50 quid on petrol to do lap after lap, and it's NA, and it's also a built engine, which means think it's going to be very reliable for giving it absolute death. It's also on a Link ECU G4X, which swayed me because you know we put Link ECU on absolutely every car we have. It just means that something is watching the car and how it's running away from all the old, really dated electronics that would be in a 1986 car that would basically run it to the ground, let it blow up, and then you go, oh no. Whereas the Link G4X is going to have all those safety parameters in there, meaning that it's like an insurance policy for the expensive parts and the running gear in this car. And we obviously sell G4Xs and all the Link range on our projects department on the website. I'll put a link in the description below. If you've got a street car or a drift car, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you grab a Link ECU, because not only have they got the full range for everything, but just these old cars, and you're trying to put performance through them, put a bit of death through them, they just don't like it. And the old electronics don't have those safety parameters. So I'm just putting it out there. If you have one that's nice and you're running old school technology, take the 3210 out of the car, put in an iPhone, put in a Link ECU, grab them from the projects department. So let's talk about what the plans are for the 86. Well, we want to track it and we want to show it, and that's one of the reasons I love this car, is because the outside is perfect. The paintwork, everything is absolutely spotless. It's never even seen a stone chip. To me, that was the hard part of buying one that needs doing up, was that it would be a couple of months and then the summer's gone and then you can't drive it till then. So it is perfect on the outside. What I do like about it though is all these panels, while they are Japanese and rare, they're easily repairable. The color is quite easy to match. So if we do get a bump or a scrape or a touch, I think restoring it back to show quality shouldn't be too difficult. So I like that part of it as well. If it was some flip candy metallic color, you get into trouble. They are show cars because you're then painters trying to match all those different things. So this is quite a simple black, but it's an easy color to match because I've had this on cars in the past. So I like that a lot. Under the bonnet, I think performance-wise, it's pretty good. I don't think we need to do too much more there. Like, it's simple. I love this. This was done in Japan. This very little metal work there. I think it's just kind of so funny. It's just like a real Japanese way of doing things. It's simple. It works. It has all the bits that I need to go drifting. So from this perspective, we don't need to do a whole lot. We might clean up a few little bits here and there, but nothing crazy. This is not where I think most of the project is going to be. Whoa.
Fixing the bonnet now.
Fixing the bonnet might be one thing. Where I think I'm looking forward to is that I kind of want to refresh the interior of the car. I think it's the only part of the car that's a little bit rough and ready. And the great thing about interiors is that I can do some work. So I don't work on the cars mostly because, not that I'm lazy or I don't have time, which could be a part of it, is because I'm not that brilliant when it comes to mechanical stuff. And I always find interiors the most fun, because taking a dash off or repairing something or a cage in and out or a seat, it's kind of, you can't really fail at it. Like, it's something that I could do and I can kind of tip away to make it much nicer inside and out. The outside, like paintwork, wiring, tuning, that's stuff that is quite specialist. But this interior is fine. So this was an actual drift car, which I think is very cool. I actually quite like that story behind it, that it actually drifted in Japan. But you can see that the guy actually took his probably wheels, toolbox, everything, jack, everything to the track in the back of the car. It's quite a cool kind of pinky color. I'm starting to think, for some reason, I might think it's a Yaris color. I know that sounds really mad, but there is kind of a Yaris that is a very similar color to that. If I can paint match it, I might respray the inside. If I can't, I think I'll put in some like plated areas on the car to block off some of the pockets, and then we might steel it grey or black, the interior of the car, just to tidy it up. I might take out the cage, repaint it, maybe repowder coat it, and just make the inside look as fresh as the outside, because the outside looks super fresh. Not go overboard, and have something that if we do put a couple of marks on it, we can always touch it up. So not too fancy, but yeah, that's definitely the first thing I think that needs to be done. Again, on the interior, I mean, it's a drift car, so it's got some bits of the dash, and then some bits of the dash are missing. Like you can see, the speaker cover over there is not there anymore.
Has it got a radio still?
It has a radio. It has a radio in there. It has a nice Nardi too, but yeah, you see like the bezel here for around they obviously took this off to put this gauge in, which you don't really need. So there's a couple of little bits that I'll be able to grab for it. I think it's like, I like these little ones where you're trying to find the little trinkets, you're trying to find all the little bits. And luckily, the only place that you can find so many AE86 parts outside of Japan is Ireland. We have so many of these cars for braking. We have companies that sell them brand new, the parts. If you guys have followed along, Neil from Juicebox's very, very long build, which I feel a bit guilty because I've jumped way forward ahead of him. He was able to find so much in Ireland. So that's kind of like what I'm thinking. It might be a little adventure car that you can drive it to somewhere, pick up a part, have fun on the road trip, that kind of thing. And then obviously with Sportsland being built and Mondello and all the other tracks we have in Ireland, this thing can go out and do some skids. I've bought cars much more expensive with much more power and been a lot less happy. So I'm actually feeling like, not to be fake on camera and go, whoa, but this has been like all last night I was just thinking, if we do pick up this car, like I'm super happy with it. I'm really chuffed, and it kind of brings me back to my glory days of cheap fun drifting where you have to drive the car a lot harder rather than just rely on the power and lock. So this thing should help me learn my drift skills as well as go to shows. It kind of does it all. Alright, so JDM Garage, we're giving the car final check over, getting the paperwork ready, and then we got to get it on the trailer. So we got about an hour to kill. And funnily enough, someone we know for a very long time that has a very cool car collection lives about 30 minutes that way. So we're going to go check it out. So we are on our way to a very, very cool place. But next week, we actually are going very far away as we go to New Zealand for stop 2 of the LZ World Tour. We've never been to New Zealand before. We are so hyped. We know a lot of you guys watch our videos from there. And I just want to remind you that if you want to get a VIP package with drift games at the LZ World Tour, you can do at lzworldtour.com. There's a few available still, and that's a meet and greet with us. It is a VIP merch pack. You get access to the pits to check out all the cars. Basically, you get a really, really cool experience of the event on top of what will be already a very action-packed 2 days in Tapo Motorsports Park. So if you want to grab them at LZ World Tour, and hopefully we get to chat to a lot of you guys when we're there. So, from one farm with a bunch of JDM cars, including 3 D1 cars, we are half an hour away in another farm. You can see it is just your general average in the middle of nowhere English farm. But what is here is stuff that you're not going to believe, and maybe over there it gives a little bit of a taste of what's to come.
And a doggy here. A doggy.
So basically the 2 things you need is space, so you can let your wild notions go wild, which definitely this man has. Second thing you need is a dog, because everyone has a dog on a farm. And the third thing, you make a lot of noise, so being far away from people is a good thing. That's why a lot of people in Europe use kind of farms and sheds, as opposed to a lot of people in the States would be kind of in an industrial area. So this is the tow rig and the daily driver. So I'm sure you guys are going to recognize the car on the back. One of them, this is Liam Doran's place, and Liam's inside. We're going to go in and check out some wild stuff that he has here. But his daily is an RS6 wrapped in purple with,
I think it's 1,000 horsepower as well.
1,000 horsepower. 4 absolutely shredded tires on the roof racks because they're small tires, because this is what Liam has been doing for the last little while, which I'm sure if you've been watching car content online, you've seen this thing. This is the Auto Grass, I guess, Mini. I don't know much about them. We're going to find out about them. We'll get back to this in a bit, but there's more in here that I want to show you guys.
See how small the trailer is as well, Dave?
Small trailer.
It's like half the size.
It's still a Mini. It's still a Mini. Mini can't be big.
Which door do you use?
Which door we go?
It's like 7 doors. No, I don't think it's that one, is it?
Not this one, it's this one.
It's like a competition.
The little door. Ah,
It's a hidden door.
At this point in the video, you're probably thinking, this is going to be like hay in here. There's going to be, I've seen a picture of this before. This is going to blow your mind. Hello, Liam.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
How are you? Good, thank you.
So, funnily enough, because Liam, if you guys know, we're going to do a little montage of who Liam is, if you have never heard of him.
That's worrying.
Right here.
Told you earlier, is now copied by Liam Duran.
So Liam, ex-global rallycross driver, professional rallycross driver, monster athlete, done a lot of stunts and rallying and different motorsports over the years, and somehow you've ended up in a farm in the middle of nowhere with probably the most eclectic collection of stuff I've ever seen.
Yeah, and not many people have seen it, actually, to be honest.
No, so this is a new build for you. This is a new build, right?
Secretive, yeah.
This is a secretive place, so we got secret access. Thank you. You can thank Liam for that. So my brain is starting to work overtime. So I think what I'm going to try and do is, I always say when I go into someone's place, I'm going to start in one area before my head explodes. So I'm going to start with something I know, which is a drift car. Just let me start before everything else here. You're going to have to tell me what it is. But this I do know. So this is your drift car. So a lot of people might not know you do drift.
Yep. I do pretty much anything with 4 wheels, to be honest. So drifting for me has been something I've done for a long time. Never done it competitively, really. Never done it professionally. always just done it for fun, because I think that's what drifting actually is for a lot of people. So this is my...
Secretly is right.
Yeah, sorry.
We've gone too far on our side.
Yeah.
So this is your drift car for fun.
Yes. My fun drift car, content car, I guess I would call it. One of my go-to vehicles if I want to go do a demonstration for Monster or go make a quick video or whatever. This is my go-to. Makes loads of noise, makes loads of smoke, puts a smile on my face every time. Well, beast really for a drift car. It's street legal, but it's...
What's unusual about this car is that most of these start as a regular E92 and then you make them look like a drift car. This is actually an M3.
This is actually an M3, and I did buy it as an M3, like a normal one. Yeah, and I got carried away.
So purists.
Sorry about that.
I'm on his side.
Yeah.
And what's mad is it looks like it's spray painted, but these are actually vinyl stickers. I actually saw a picture of this online. I thought, he's just got someone to graffiti the whole side of the car, which is cool. But now you can actually.
That was the idea. It was Monster's idea. And they came up with the design, and then we're like, well, rather than put it on with a spray can, let's just print it, and we can change it as we please.
Change it up a bit.
Decent coilovers, full wide stab front and rear, so it's capable as well.
So it handles well, and if you always want to put more power in it, you can. You've already got the chassis for it.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do now is hold my breath, because I'm stepping out of my comfort zone now and going into the deep end over here, because this is the stuff that we kind of know what it is, but we don't know much about it. We'll get to the minis in a bit because there's a lot to get through there. I've never seen I've seen one RS 200 Group E rally car. There is one in the museum in Mondello Park. Yeah. And you have two sitting beside each other here. And
they're very different ones.
And they're very different. So what's the story behind this one?
I mean, I would say probably two of the most famous ones, to be honest, for different reasons. This is one of the most famous rallycross cars. RS200s, obviously with the Group B era, they're from rally, but they progressed into rallycross because they were banned in rally. They were the ultimate rallycross car because they were too powerful for rallying really, but in rallycross, when they're put onto an open track, they were the perfect recipe really, until they were pretty much banned in rallycross as well, for the same reason.
You know it's a good car when it gets banned from everything.
Well, and it's the car you want to drive, right? It's trouble, from the word go, it's trouble. So this is the original car my dad raced, in the original colours again, which is nice. We put it back to its original colour scheme. And it's had some modern upgrades to make it drivable and reliable, because they were known for being very hard to drive. This actually isn't that bad now. It's still very fast, but it's a lot more drivable than it used to be.
So just to put it in perspective for those people who don't know anything about the RS200, because it's not a very common car, they made a couple of road versions, which I know Ken Block owned one of them, and they are going for multi millions, right? But this car was built by Ford just to be a rally car, and then they homologated it for the street. And then this is rear end or mid-engine.
It's mid-engine, so the engine's in the middle of the car, just behind the driver's seat. The rear diff is behind, and obviously there's a gearbox and a front diff in the front. So it's 50-50 weight distribution. This one is 750 horsepower, which doesn't sound that crazy in today's power figures, but it only weighs 1,000 kilos. Wow. And it's because it's four-wheel drive. The car just is unreal. It's a grip machine. It like produces that power, and it uses every single one of those horsepower when you drive it, which is not common because it doesn't really wheel spin. It goes really fast.
Well, that's it. We're used to big horsepower figures of drifting now because you're blowing through the tires. But this is all.
This can if you want to make it do it, but obviously it's not. That's not the best thing about the car. It will put all of that power down to the ground.
Is this the radiator?
Intercooler.
Oh, the intercooler
So
on the roof.
the intercooler's on the roof. Turbo's on one side, obviously the intake's on the other because the engine's in line. And so the boost is produced from the turbo, up through the intercooler on the roof and then back down in the intake manifold.
It's wild. They just went, where do they put it? Just on the roof.
Put a big scoop on the roof.
And then it scoops down.
And then the radiator's in the front. So it's the opposite way around to what we do a drift car these days. Engine's in the back, radiator's in the front. Just because they ran out of space, I think, in the back, to be honest. So radiator's in the front. This is, right, what we've tried to do is keep it as original as possible to what it was when it was a rallycross car. And like I said, we've modernised it, it's got Ryger suspension on it, it's got Cosworth electronics on it, it's got the stuff you'd need to do today because 30 years is a long time for development. So, but it makes it competitive and nice to drive actually. But we've tried to keep it original because of that's why it's in its livery and it's got a great history with my dad. So we wanted to keep it as close to that as possible. And I drive it sometimes, and it's an amazing treat to be able to take this thing out and drive it. It's still my favourite car in the world to drive. I've driven probably hundreds of cars now, and that nothing compares. It just doesn't even get close, just because it's so raw and it's actually so effective. Like, it's got all the power, but it just uses it all, and you can It's crazy.
I think
it's a pleasure to drive.
What I love about this is that this is your dad's car.
Yeah.
So then you've got such an influence from this.
Yeah,
that
right.
you decided to take it into the modern era.
Yeah.
With what has to be, I think, the wildest looking RS200
Yeah.
car. So, I mean, this is where I know nothing. What I'm going to say what I think it is, and then you tell me what it is, right? 'Cause that'll be fun. So this is an RS200, which isn't like the Group B one in a way, because it's got loads of aero, which wouldn't work for anything other than going fast on a very normal surface. So what's this? Where did this come about, and what is it, and where did it start?
So obviously I'm very lucky, and I grew up around my dad racing that RS200. So naturally, wanting to be like him, I needed to build that, but I needed to be better and bigger and stronger and more powerful. So this is sort of what ended up being my version of an RS200. It is still a genuine factory RS200 chassis with genuine parts, genuine motor, genuine transmission. So it's the value's there still, but we've just gone, whereas with the rallycross car, we've always tried to keep it as original as possible. We threw the rule book in the bin with this one because it was built for Pikes Peak Hill Climb in America, and the class is called Unlimited, and that means it's unlimited, like
So
it's
whatever you
just
want.
got to have 4 wheels basically. That's what the car was designed and built for. It's got a lot of history behind it. I won't go through all of it, but ultimately it's that car on steroids. It's lower to the ground, it's got double the width tyres, it's got almost 1,000 horsepower, it's 50 kilos lighter.
So what does it weigh?
It weighs 950 kilos.
And it's 1,000 horsepower.
10,000 horsepower. It's a proper one-to-one car, 100%. And it feels like that when you drive it.
Must be terrifying to drive.
The one-to-one number goes to your head pretty quick, and you go, "That's what it feels like." I'm not sure I like this.
But also it's quite stylish
Yeah.
for modern styling, because this looks like a Formula 1 spoiler on the back of this.
Yeah, that is actually a genuine Arrow F1. Like for a long time ago, but it's an Arrow F1 spoiler, and that's what the car has got. So
It looks like a Formula 1 spoiler, and he's like, no, it's an actual Formula 1 spoiler.
It had the label on. And when
So it's a real
started
Formula 1 spoiler?
A real Formula 1 spoiler, yeah. Wet weather. Back in the day in Formula 1, they had wide ones for the dry and narrow ones for the wet. And the dry one would have made the car do a wheelie, so we went for a wet weather one.
He just woke up one day and said, we're going to put a Formula 1 spoiler on the back of the car that's already 1,000 horsepower and 950
I mean, if you like cars, a Formula 1's a good trendsetter, isn't it? You've got to aspire to be
It's just made this car even cooler to me now, and I'm like, it's already...
I was never going to fit in an F1 car, so the closest I could get was putting an F1 spoiler on my car.
So this is much more, this is more exposed than
Yeah,
the
you
back.
can see this one, and it sort of explains, like we wanted to show on that one. The engine's in the middle of the car. You can actually see from this one how low it is to the ground. Like it's almost level with the top of the tyre. So 18-inch wheels, and the engine's almost level with the top of the tyres. So that shows like how well it was designed from the factory when they made them.
Well, this wasn't them trying to make something they already produced into something. No. They just made it from scratch.
Yeah,
so that's why
they used a few things like few panels and lights and stuff from a Sierra, but most of it was absolutely bespoke to make the ultimate car, which is why Group B was so crazy. It was so fast and so dangerous. But yeah, you can see why the weight's in the middle of the car on the ground. There's nothing on the outside of the car. Like it's the ultimate in saloon car. It's not like a single seat Formula 1 car, but in saloon car design, you couldn't really.
There's nothing in it.
Even though 30 years has gone past, you couldn't really do it better than today. So it's all carbon fibre bodywork. Like it's 950 kilos, 50-50 weight distribution front to rear. Gearbox is on the floor in the front, engine's on the floor in the middle. It all makes sense. It's got 13-inch wide tyres, so you can imagine it does 0 to 60. This thing actually did a proven factual 0 to 60 in 1.7 seconds in 1990, I think it was. Yeah, back then. So imagine that's still fast today. I mean, I don't know, it might even still be really fast today actually, but I mean, electric cars go fast these days, don't they? But like, in all the way back then,
That's 35 years ago.
there was nothing.
It was doing 1.7,
and it was legitimately registered. Yeah, 1.7 seconds, the fastest car in motorsport at the time. The modern technology is in this car.
Yeah.
It's actually been almost like a barn find. It's been stored here for like 6 years now, since I accidentally crashed it at Goodwood.
Back in 2011, if anybody's committed and he's had a moment, the rear bodywork has come off, he lost his downforce, and that's put him into the bales.
It's being put back together at the moment, so hopefully we'll be out in action very soon.
That's very, very cool. Well, we also have some shells and things here on this side as well, but what I want to really look at, because I've been so fascinated by them, is these minis that you've kind of come across that you're doing wheelies in, and everybody's looking at it going cool, and I was going, how is he doing that? Yeah. So I know there's another workshop where we have some of that stuff, so we're going to go check that out.
So do you want to see a built car or an in-build car?
I want to see an in-build car, because I've seen them on the outside, but I have no idea how they work.
Follow me this way. So that workshop was basically what I built as not a workshop, that's the showroom. This is the actual workshop. And in here at the moment, we've just finished. This is what you asked to see. So this is, was actually my first car from last year, and we've just completed a complete ground up rebuild on it.
So for people that don't know what they're looking at, which is probably 99% of the world, other than, we're going to put a clip in here of what Liam does in one of these cars, which I've never seen anybody wheelie drift in my life, but you've done it. But they are essentially a racing series in the UK, which is an auto grass.
Auto grass.
So it's a grass oval, essentially.
Yeah, this is auto grass class 7. Believe it or not, 2 engines in the back is quite normal. You don't have to have 2 engines in the back. You can basically have anything you want. But it was for a long time a very popular setup to have 2 engines. Now, the biggest, baddest bike engines are Suzuki Hayabusa engines. They were just always the fastest superbike. So, you know, automatically that's the best engine to put in one of these, really, per power to weight. This has actually got 2 fully built, almost 1600cc versions, putting out 250 horsepower. So the standard one's like 180, 200 on a good day. These are 260, so it means what's that, 520 horsepower combined. So
it's technically 3.2 litres because...
Technically 3.2 litres.
So hold on, you've got an engine here and you have an engine here. Yep. And then obviously they come together at a differential at some point, and the differential goes straight to the axle.
Yeah, drive box, that's called a drive box. So essentially it's got 2 inputs onto, basically it's a differential with 2 inputs, one in front, one in behind. So the one engine on the front drives the front of it, the one engine on the back drives the back of it, with a transfer gear so that they go in the right direction, and then it drives the axle. This is actually one of the very first cars in the sport, in the history of the sport, to have a limit slip diff. I've just fitted it, I haven't driven it yet, so it's brand new, but it actually has a limit slip diff. Normally they're a solid spool axle, so they're locked solid rear like a welded diff. But I'm trying to make it a little bit more drivable, just from my previous experience in motorsport. So I've gone for an LSD. But this is quite an advanced one. It's got full motorsport electronics, 2 ECUs in a module up there. It's got like a very, I guess, improved cooling system from AliSport. It's all aluminium hard pipes and all anodized hard pipes. The radiator's as big as we can get, as low down as we can get it. Dry sump tank, so actually I think it's probably one of the first cars in the world, but it's 2 engines on 1 dry sump tank.
That's what I was thinking, it's 1 dry sump tank.
Yeah, well it's all one fuel tank. So 1 fuel tank there, 1 radiator here, 1 dry sump tank here. So even those 2 engines, I've just taken the decision to put it all together. Even though there's risks of that, there's also benefits of that as well. The risk is the oils blending. If there's a problem, you might, technically carry it across. Same with coolant, same hey gasket goes, but with the ECU and having all the controls, we're pretty good on knowing what's going wrong, and if something goes wrong, I have to just stop.
So I was just thinking, if when you start the idea of this, you go, right, we're gonna, bear with me, we're gonna get a Mini, but then we're gonna just use the body of that, and we're gonna build a tube track, and then we're gonna put, 2 engines. We're gonna put 2 engines in the back of it, we're gonna put the rad to the side of one of them, we're gonna put the exhaust to the side of the other one. Like, it's a wild idea to make a car it's very rear heavy, which is why...
Yeah, 70% rear weight. So I think the back weighs about 400 kilos and the front's like 150. Without driver, obviously, when I get in it definitely balances the front up more. But as a car static, it's
and you
all
sit
rear weight.
dead square in the middle?
Not in this car. In the V8 car, I sit dead square in the middle because the engine is on one side, so the engine being on the inside offsets the weight to the inside, which for the racing series, it's a turn right only on a dirt oval, so you obviously want the inside wheel heavier. So where the engine's on the inside wheel, you put the driver's weight in the middle because you can. Whereas on this, because there's an engine on both sides, they're actually very evenly distributed on weight. So then I move my driver weight over to the inside to get a little bit of weight.
But you're kind of on an angle.
Yeah, you are at an angle.
Like you're not straight. You're
if you look from the front here, you can see straight down through the car. The pedals are off to one side and the seat's off to the other side, so I sit at an angle because you never go straight in the car. So that actually gives you a better sight of vision.
So this is probably the last time we'll ever see it this clean.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to keep it clean for as long as I can because it's so beautiful and I'm so proud of what we've built. But inevitably it's not going to last that much longer.
So there's one on the trailer right there that just came from an event that you were doing jump wheelies at the weekend.
So last year my thing was trying to do spinner wheelies or like drift wheelies.
They're out here doing spinner wheelies.
Now I'm trying to, I guess, practice and then hopefully refine jump wheelies, which is like inspired from Axel Hodges in the US, who does it on a dirt bike. He does a lot of jumping and lands on the back wheel and then wheelies out. We had that idea and we've started trying to do that now. So.
So here's another one, Liam, which is just off the trailer. It was doing some wheelie jumps.
Yeah. Here's what one looks like with the body on. So like the last one you saw is just like literally a rolling cage. This is what it looks like when the mini body's actually on it. Yeah, just at the weekend I was practicing the wheelie jumps. Haven't refined them yet, but practicing. The main difference with this car is pretty much from the front all the way to behind the driver's seat is exactly the same. Only in the back there's only one engine, but there's a big but. It's not just a normal one engine. It's actually keeping with the street bike theme. It's a Hayabusa V8. So it's basically two complete Hayabusa motors, top ends on a custom V8 crank and crankcase. So it is two Hayabusa engines joined into a V8. So it's a 2.7 litre, which is two 1340cc Hayabusa engines, and 2.7 litre V8 revs to 11,000 RPM, makes 450 horsepower, but only weighs less than 100 kilos. So it's a proper power plant. With just very happy with the new titanium exhaust I've fitted, which sounds
cool.
Very crisp.
What happened here?
Wheelies.
Mostly wheelies.
That's just wheelie scars.
You haven't built this like specifically to do wheelies. Like you haven't like put in like what do they do? Those drag guys?
Yeah, wheelie bars. No, there's a lot of people in the comments on my stuff have said like, hey, let's make it wheelie, get wheelie bar on it, all this stuff. But I feel that it's just raw and it's more, I guess, dramatic.
Well, technically it keeps with the idea of you're doing something that's not designed to be done with the car, whereas the minute you design it, it takes the kind of fun out of it.
Yeah, I've done nothing to design the car so that it does it better. I just have to drive it. No different to a street bike. To wheel it, you just got to control the throttle. To wheelie this, you just have to control the throttle.
It must be like wild.
The wildest thing ever. So, either of you two ready to drive it?
Us to drive it?
Well, I feel like you're not going to do anything to it that I wouldn't do anyway. Like I try and destroy it every time I drive it, so I'm quite confident it's in good hands. So
if we're going to drive V8 Hayabusa wheeling mini, I mean it's got to be Josh Holsworth that's going to do it because
you don't want to do it.
Well, see, I'm having a child now, Josh, so you know what I mean. I've got to be careful. I got to be, I don't think you're technically on the insurance anymore, so it's just if we lose you, and again it's just another English guy lost in England, so it's not the end of the world.
Drive it's a death trap.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that if an Irish guy gets in trouble in England, it's a whole thing. The health insurance, you know what I mean? You're English, you're here, it's fine. You're amongst your people. Look at this.
The local hospital is not far away. It's only like 45 minutes away.
Why are you talking about the hospital?
Look, we got two donkeys there. We got one donkey here. It's fine. You can just get in. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to step right back and enjoy this. I think this is my favorite spectator sport I've ever seen. Is Josh trying to drive this thing? So you have, you have a lane here or something that you can?
Yeah, I'm gonna build tracks and stuff here for future, but at the moment I've got a hill climb. So it's basically just a farm track, but we've concreted it so it's smooth. So if you want to drive, if you're ready, Josh, I'll warm this up and then I'll take you to pre-run it to show you where you're going to drive. And then we'll see what happens.
I thought I'd be in the field. I'm on like a lane.
But it's a very wide lane. Is it wide?
No, it's like a rally stage. It's a rally stage. It's trees.
So I'm going in a rally stage. This has escalated quite a bit from looking at some cars.
I can't see anything going wrong here. Like, I mean, if you look at our track record, we are quite the lucky, safe people. I mean, we've had a year of nothing but smooth rides. Yeah. Everything's gone well.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Why would you say that? That's all good.
I mean, we already lost the Pope this week, so I'm just saying.
Honestly, it's fine. You're not going to do anything that I wouldn't do.
That's what I'm. Yeah, that's the scary thing.
The problem with that statement is I've seen Liam drive.
Good.
Could be a get out of jail free card here.
You're not getting away with this.
Why is he doing that? This might have got dramatic. Sounds like the flywheel is stuck.
Gonna give it a little push.
A few moments later.
Oh.
Oh.
So what was it then?
That is very promising now. I was worried there. I was like, if it's not the battery, there's the 4 men here aren't going to fix it.
Yeah.
Hey!
There was about an hour in between those clips.
It didn't start for a while. We were very upset because I just wanted to see Josh scared, and now all my dreams have come true again. Ups and downs.
Now I've got to drive this thing. I forgot about that part.
I'll be here with the dog. Josh is going to die.
Right, I've got my racing boots on.
It'll be alright. It'll be okay.
So we're going up the lane?
I'm going to show you where we're going.
You probably still go faster than me in this.
So let's come down here, probably pretty slow, and then from here you're good to go. So it just goes up a hill, all the way up, and we'll get to the top and turn around. So you just go as fast as you want, basically.
So it's pretty much like the Goodwood Hill.
Basically my version of the Goodwood Hill climb, yeah. We're doing 29 miles per hour in this bad boy, so should be able to get like 40 miles per hour safely.
40 miles an hour.
This is what you call the deep end.
Yeah,
this is
putting someone in it.
Yeah, this is the pretty fast car on a pretty loose surface up a little tight track.
And a very amateur driver.
There's only one way to find out, Josh. Car's there waiting for you, mate. The track's waiting for you. Let's see if you've got what it takes. I've got every confidence. I have every
I'm glad someone's got confidence.
No, I have every confidence. You're fine. You've driven loads of cars. It really isn't as bad as it looks, so you'll be fine.
That looks terrifying.
Yourself in, head last.
Hey, that's a good start.
Oh, down, it's not going to start again.
You are a brave, brave man.
No, like I said before, there's no way he's going to do anything to that car that I don't do anyway, so.
That went halfway through. This thing's an Antichrist. I only went like very half speed there.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Can I do one more?
Yeah.
That is. I was going to say, can we put you in to do a lap? That is the most fun I've ever had in the car. And I'm not just saying that, my hat's up there somewhere, I don't even care. It flew off. But we're going to put Liam in and it's going to show how it's actually supposed to be done. What a prick! I can very much tell he's going faster than what I was. This isn't me breaking it, is it?
No, it's fine. Like I said, you were never going to break it, don't worry. So how was it?
It was the most fun I've had in the car.
Really?
Was
it that?
It's incredible.
I was wondering if you were going to say that. I mean, for me it is.
It's like nothing I've ever been in before. Like no drift car, no road car, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just terrifying.
Craziness.
In every single way.
It is craziness.
I think we need
I'm just going to say, you did very well, but your throttle was probably a little bit more reserved than Liam's was on his run.
No shit. The thing terrified me every time I stamped on the thing. Although there's no tread left.
You went up on bald tires and a pair of Crocs in that thing on a road you've never even been on before. I'm impressed, Josh. I am impressed. All right, well, Liam, I gotta say, this was like a treat.
Saying thank you.
This was a bit of a treat because Liam gave us a message when we were down at Paul at JDM and he was like, come down by. I was like, oh, we'll probably see a fuel cook. We didn't expect this level of madness, this level of cool, and we wish you all the best of luck with all of your future endeavours. Liam has his own YouTube channel. We'll put a link down below. If you want to see people doing stuff they shouldn't be doing in cars, even more so than us, then this is the man. And we're going to head back now to JDM Garage, collect my Corolla, and head back to Ireland. Coming in for docking.
It's nice that the car spends so much of its time inside, dry stored, to take it back rainy.
It's going to see a bit more rain from here, I feel. So, start nice. What's this video even about? Did we start with D1 cars and then we ended up with a Mini going up a hill and picking up a Corolla? It's a random one, isn't it? Basically, the moral of the story is the Pope passed away. We couldn't go to Italy. We decided to buy a Corolla. We took a Mini up a hill. We saw some D1 cars. It was nice. Now it's raining. We drove through the night and we're back driving through the night with this very special car, which I cannot wait to dig into when we get home. So, quick 7-hour spin, back on the boat. So we are back at the clubhouse. Oh, we're tired. That was a very quick 2.5 days, but the Corolla is home, and look what's down. The JZX is down from up on the mezzanine. So this car is going to go next week. We're going to begin this project. So kind of cool to see the two of them side by side. We're back here with an amazing Corolla, which I think you guys are going to really enjoy what we're doing with it and driving it over the next few months. So right now I'm going to go to bed. I'm very, very tired. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And on the next one, well, we're going to be in New Zealand for the first time ever at the LZ World Tour. So stay tuned for that.